Alright, so two things quickly before we get started. There's a brand new I Don't Know How But They Found Me single out called Leave Me Alone. Genuinely one of my favorite songs of the year. I didn't get a chance to do a track review on it. It's a perfect score from me. Link down below. Go check that out. Also, I put out a new episode of Rapid Reviews last week where I covered like 20 brand new singles. So if you want to see my thoughts on everything from Drake to Oliver Tree with Blink-182, then the link is in the description or else a card on screen now. Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond AR TV. My name is John, and it's time for a track review of Quarantine, the new single by the pop-punk band Blink-182. They're leaning heavily into their punk roots, and they promise something that would be kind of like a lot of their biggest songs in a way, but also with kind of a heavier, more punk-driven aesthetic, and that definitely caught my ear, but I was worried that it would be too on the nose, considering the title, Quarantine. Obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic, worldwide COVID-19, and with so many artists writing about this, it's become a bit heavy-handed to talk about because while I understand the need and the want to kind of relate to people and get inside that headspace, it can also get quickly overdone. They co-wrote this track with Brian Lee. Matt Skiba is not on the song, which, what the hell is going on with Matt Skiba? He's been kind of having some outbursts online, and I really don't like to speculate on this, especially if it involves substance abuse, but he might have relapsed. It's a possibility. I know that he's struggled with alcohol addiction in the past, and given his interactions online, it seems like something is off, and there might be a reason as to why Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker are not including him, not only on this track, but they've done so many collaborations, everything from the track with XXXTentacion, to the Chainsmokers, to Goody Grace, and Oliver Tree. There's a lot of singles featuring Blink-182. It's been a little bit overexposed and outrageous. Some of them have been better than others, but overall, I think there's a reason as to why we're not hearing from Matt, and unfortunately, we could be on the verge of collapse in that territory. I'm more of a Matt Skiba defender than some people out there. I enjoyed 9 for what it was, and this new track Quarantine clocks in at just over 2 minutes long, and I have mixed feelings on it. First off, I love the music. It reminds me of an Offspring song. Almost immediately, I was waiting for Dexter Holland's vocals to kick in. It has that feeling to it, maybe something off of like one of their 90s albums like Smash. It's definitely a big lore, and it's something that I'm a fan of personally, and I like seeing Blink play in that direction. I think that Travis Barker smashes the drums on this thing. He absolutely killed it, although that's not exactly something uncommon for Blink. I love the guitar tones here, although I'm not for certain as to who played guitars on this track. I think that Mark Hoppus actually sounds really nice. There's a few places where I think that the vocal layering feels just a bit off, but overall, no real complaints. It's in, it's out, it definitely leaves something with me. It's catchy, but I also do take issue with some of the lyrics, at least in places. I understand the anger. We're all frustrated. We're all very angry, especially at the government as to how things have been handled in the United States in particular. I think that this can be taken, in a way that's very much directed at Trump and his administration. I think the frustration in the lyrics does get a bit too specific, like on the nose, without really saying anything new at all. They're talking about personal protective equipment. It's all going to be gone by April. Just kind of using some of the quotes against them, and I understand that middle finger, but it already almost feels a bit dated, and I just couldn't really see somebody listening to this like 10 years down the road. For example, think of a band like Rage Against the Machine and Bulls on Parade, a track like that. That still clearly holds up because while there was stuff packed in that tied itself to the times, everything that was going on in the movement at that time from the LA riots and beyond, I think that's a perfect example of a band riding that line between giving the fans something current and a message that's going to resonate with a lot of people, but also not getting too specific where it's going to feel extremely dated, like it couldn't stand the test of time. And not to say that this new Blink track is like some sort of throwaway or anything. In fact, I find myself quite drawn to the music. I think the guitars do sound great, like I mentioned, and the musical performance, I really don't have many qualms there. It's just almost so short and so specific as to what it's about. I just don't know if the appeal is going to last beyond the pandemic, although at this point, who knows how long that's gonna last. Leave a like on this review while you're here. Thank you for watching this kind of impromptu review. I've been taking the week off, but wanted to chime in for this one just briefly. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to see my review of 9 by Blink, then tap this card here. Tap here for another recent review. The songs that I mentioned at the start of the video and rapid reviews, those are down in the description as well, and I'll see you soon for more right here on Beyond AR TV.